So welcome to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin. Sunday night spins. We're gonna just spin out some strategies. We usually stay for about an hour, hang out, we chat a little bit. I run a few strategies, and at the end of the time, we check to see how many points we might have earned, how many sessions we went through, and just to see how it goes. So if you're a first-time person watching, if you don't mind, hit that like button for me, and if you would, subscribe to the channel. It sure helps. All right, so let's see. So let's, I really want to do that, I think I want to do that 9, doing a live this Wednesday at 7:30 and using Crapsy. Okay, so 30-Day Gambler's doing a live stream this Wednesday at 7:30 using Crapsy. He says, yes, I do have a cruise coming up. 30-Day Gambler asked if I had a cruise coming up. Yes, I leave out Friday morning on Freedom out of Miami. It's just a 3-night, little short cruise. The worst part's the drive down. It's like 6 hours for us to get down there. All right, so let's, I hate to dive off into the point pusher because that's just one that just kind of, we'll just be here for a while, just spinning and spinning and spinning. MJ, hey guys, watching on the Liberty of the Seas. All right, well, good luck on Liberty. You had any luck at the tables? Let's see. Let's buy in for. Let's just do $400. We're just gonna do something kind of easy. Walk up to the table. Let's sit down and play for a minute. All right. So $400. Remember your CPass card. They scan it to give it back to you. That's how you get your points. Right, MJ? All right. So $400, and we're gonna play with red chips for this one. And let me move this stuff here out of the way. It seems like I'd be set up. All right, so we're going to get $400 in red chips here. These are $5 each. Let's see. So let's just do. Let's do 10 streets. Okay, so I want to try this one because I'm thinking about doing this one on the cruise, and just to see if it can do anything. So anyway, so we have 10 streets. We bet 10 streets. If we win, it profits 2 chips, and then we reduce down to 8 streets, and we double up 4 of them and see if we can get a good win out of it. It's just 2 steps. That's all we're looking to get out of this one. So here we go. We're going for spin number 1 right here to start the session. And I think I'm going to make our goal $100 profit. Okay, so we're going to see if we can get $100 profit. See how long this $400 will last us. All right, 29. Okay, so we know that is a 2-chip profit. So now you hit on this street here, so we're going to alternate over just a little bit. And the goal is to have a double hit. If a single, one with a single chip on it hits, it's a push. A double is a 22-chip win. And of course, it hits 32. Okay. Maybe we need to establish a walk-away for this one. All right, so if we played this one, it would be a $50 average running this strategy here. So, theoretically, you should be getting, 50 points every 10 spins, give or take. So, MJ, how's the points been on Liberty for you? Okay, 23. That is a 2-chip profit there. We take these, and we're going to go up 2 right there. Okay, where'd we hit? All right, 13. Okay, so that was a single chip right there, so that's a push. We're just going to let it ride just where it's at. Yeah, Liberty is the sister ship to Freedom. I don't know, there seems to be a little bit of difference about them. I don't know what it is about the Liberty, like the casino layout is a little different than Freedom for some reason. All right, 36. Lord have mercy, we can't get 2 hits on this for nothing. All right, here we go. Going back to 10 streets. All right, y'all still there? I don't know what it is about my computer here. Sometimes it seems like it freezes up on me. All right, 7. There is a 2-chip profit there. Let's see here. Wish there was a way to refresh without having to restart the whole page. All right, we're gonna have to get one. Let's see, is that one? There we go. Finally got one. Okay. All right, so with that setup there, that's 22 chips. Okay, and there is 22 right there. All right, let's see. Let's just go back to 10 streets. Okay, we'll bring our profit back to our rack. All right, Lee's on here. Lee Hook says, haven't been on a cruise in more than a decade. First one was on Voyager. MJ, points are good. He's playing on Liberty. I'm playing craps. Bad night tonight. I may do some roulette. Lee says, because before you got free cruises. Okay, so it's before you got the free cruises in the casino. Oh, of course we hit 0. Okay. Yeah, the cruise offers, you know, through the casino sure makes it affordable. I mean, to be honest, I mean, if you go in there with a game plan and you know, you're going in for the entertainment purposes, but also with the intent on earning something out of it, you know, you can cruise a lot cheaper playing in a casino than you could paying full price. I can guarantee that. Lord have mercy. 0 is going to kill us tonight. All right, we probably should have had a walk away. So if we get down $200, we're going to walk away from this strategy here. Okay, that sound about right. All right, so let's see. 30-Day Gambler says, MJ, playing any certain ways at craps. You got any particular strategy you're playing, MJ, or just you do inside, or what you do? Okay, 12. That's a 2-chip profit there. And we're going to raise them 4 up right there. Yeah, I read these comments out. I mean, you guys may wonder why I continue to read them, because you guys can see them. The reason I read them is because after the live is complete, all the chat goes away. Lord have mercy. All right, we're pulling the plug on this one for now. All right, so we made it 8 spins. All right, so we're pulling the plug. Where'd my pen go? There it is. I'm losing my mind. All right, so we were in for $400. We're out for $220. So that is a loss of $180. And let's see, we didn't even go 10 spins, so you know we might have got 45 points for that. So we're gonna say 40. We're gonna be a little stingy with the points tonight, because sometimes you run into that, don't you? All right, so MJ says, I'm playing a few strategies that get out of the roll in 2 hits. Yeah, on the cruise you don't have too many long rolls. Let's see, so let's pay this. So 200 and $220, okay? There we go. Let me make a mess of the place here. All right, what strategy y'all want to see next? Y'all just tell me. I mean, I'm here to go to do whatever y'all want to do. Let's see, what did we, so everybody's been having a bad run on Point Pusher for some reason. 6 odd streets. All right, so the 30-day gambler wants us to run 6 odd streets. All right, if I can, see if I can remember. See if I can remember what we did with that. I've recorded a few today. Kind of, they all mix up after a little while. All right, so what did we buy in for that with? $500? I think we bought in for $500. We start the night with $1,000 anyway. All right, so we're going to do 6 odd streets. So $500. Remember, CPass card, they'll scan it and give it back to you. I need another rack of grids because we might need it. All right, so again, we're gonna run 6 odd streets. That's one guy asked for. So I think we start with $50. $50 on odd, right? And we go here, don't we? We $10 on each. 3. Trying to remember. That seem right? That looked $50 and then 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I missing here? Now we'll get Point Pusher. Just hang out. We're gonna do that one in a minute. I promise. All right. What are we missing here, guy? I don't have the layout in front of me. It seems like we should have another 10. So it's always $110. All right, right there it is. That's where we was missing. All right, so with the 6 odd streets, the way this strategy works, your jackpot numbers are 35, 29, 23, 17, 11, 5. Okay, that's what you're wanting to hit because this is a $110 profit if it hits one of the jackpot numbers. If it lands on an odd that's not on a street, that's a push. If it lands on an even that's on one of the streets that's not covered, it's a complete loss. And of course, 0, double 0 is a complete loss. All right, let's just see what happens. May have to pay it out a couple times just to remember, make sure. I think it's a $10 win, a $10 profit if you land on an even on the street that's covered. It's kind of coming back to me now. All right, so let's see. So 15. All right, so that is actually a $10 loss because we would lose everything. We get paid on the odd. It's our $10 loss. We're gonna put it right there, and we rebet. Okay, so that was $10 loss. There we go. All right, it's coming back to me. All right, so there we go. So this is spin number 2. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about playing this one as like a team strategy. You know, somebody play even. So make it 6 even streets against 6 odd streets just to see what would happen. Okay, so there we go. So there's our jackpot. And the reason it's a jackpot, because we would lose all those. But here, you get paid there. And then that pays 22 chips. So there's 22. So that is $110 right there. We'll bring that stack back. And then this rebets right there. So there's that $110 profit. All right, that seem right, guy? I think that's how it goes. And this isn't a terrible strategy. I mean, it's this is probably one I would try. I would definitely have to establish a walk away. You know, maybe if you could get $100 profit or $200 profit. All right, so 6. Okay, so that is a $10 profit. Okay, because, okay, so there is 10, there's 20, and here is $110. Okay, so there, we put those back, And then we put $50 here, and we bring $10 back to our rack. Okay? So right now, we are actually $110 profit right now. So what's a walk away? What would you establish as a walk away for this strategy? We know we lost $200 on the first session. Let's see if we get $200. All right, so 14, complete loss. We should have walked away. We were up $100. Hey, that's how it goes. All right, so we're going to set back up $10 on each of the streets. That, you know, they're basically your even numbers on these streets is what you're looking for. So the 4, 10, 16, 22, 28, 34. And then you got $50 right here. So that's a $110 average. All right, 30-day gambler wants a $200 walk away. Lose 3 bullets. As my buy-in is my negative walk away. Okay. Ryan, what's up, buddy? Congrats on the 1,500. Yeah, thank you guys for the subscriptions. You know, we hit 1,500 this week. Never would have thought we'd have had this big of support here. Or at least I didn't ever think we would. All right, so we know that is a $10 loss, so we'll go ahead and just put that away right there. We'll rebet. Yeah, so Ryan, you didn't have to work tonight. You got caught working last week and wasn't able to hang out with us. We were kind of lost without you. Oh, no. 0-0. I think tonight might be one of those nights. All right, we're going to have our walkaway be, I guess we're going to say $300. What am I doing here? I'm betting it wrong. And there is $50 right there. We got to get on a good run here. It's not going very well at the moment. But there's a reason we run this like this, because it's a whole lot cheaper to lose it here than it is to get on the ship with real money, right? All right, 26. Lord have mercy. Yeah, who brought the bad luck with them? Let's see. Ryan says on enchantment, just left a session on Point Pusher to catch the show. Played at the $90 level for about an hour, pulling the winning quad. Okay, bought in for 200, left with 310. It was a win. Yeah. How'd you do with points? How long was you there? I'm curious. All right, let's try it again. We got to get a win out of this thing. If we have to, we'll go to the ATM. All right, there we are. We're set back up. So far, we're in pretty bad shape. We gotta have 2 good wins, at least 2 to 3. All right, 14. Oh my gosh, that's not going very well, guys. Complete loss, complete loss, complete loss. All right, here we go. We're hoping our luck's going to turn around. Maybe we can hit 3 good ones in a row. All right. 30-day gambler says, ugh. Yeah. Okay, 25. Okay, so that is a $10 loss. Okay. Trying to keep all my stuff organized here. So let's rebet right there. All right, we're on spin 10 and we're down $300, give or take. A little over 300, probably close to 350 at this point. Let's see. Come on, get us a good one. All right, there we go. We finally hit one. Woo! All right, so there's 110 right there. Okay, we're going to do something crazy here. Here we go. We're going for broke. All right, so we just took that profit, that $110 profit, and we just bumped it up to $220 for our bet. We have $100 on the odd, and we have $20 on each of the streets. Now, if we can hit one of the good numbers, we might get back in profit. Can we do it? Well, I think. Probably should have took that $110 and put it in our wallet, right? $12. Okay, well, that's actually a profit. Let's see, because that should be 44 chips. So that should have been a $10 profit, but now it's a $20 profit. All right, so we're going to take $20 because we doubled everything up. That's a $20 profit. Come on, we just need one of those jackpot numbers to hit. All right, like 30-Day Gambler says here, cross your fingers. $25. Okay, so that's actually a $20 loss. All right, we put that $20 there, and we got to put $20 here. Come on, we're due for a good one. Or the walk of shame back to the cabin. $15. That's another $20 loss. Come on, we got to get a good one here. Profit. Okay, so there's 20. All right, come on. We need a 5, 11, 17, 23, 29. We got a 6. All right, that is a $20 profit. We're going to nickel and dime our back, I guess. Come on, we got to get one good hit. All right, so y'all remember to hit that like button for me, if you don't mind. 31 is a $20 loss. All right, spin number 17. Let's give or take now 20 for 7 spins now. 17. There we go. Finally. All right, so we did it. We risked it all. So that's a win right there. And let's see. So this should be should be 20 right there, and that's going to be 44 chip right there. So there's 40 chips, and then there's 44. All right, let's bring it all back to the rack and see how we're doing here. Okay, there we go. I know we got we got lucky with that one. All right, so let's go ahead and walk away. We were almost out, but we made a recovery, pressing our bets, and got lucky. It took 17 spins, and we're down. What are we down here? I think we're down like $20. Yep, we're down $20. Okay. So a loss of $20 in 17 spins. And we started at 110 for 10 of those spins. We bought in for 500. We walked away with 480. That is a $20 loss. And let's say we spent $110 on 10 of those spins. Kind of what your points would be. $110. Then we went 7 spins with $220 out there. So let's say we might have got 300 points. What do y'all think? 300 points for that session? It's a pretty high bet there, but let's say 250. We're just going to say 250. So 250 points. Sound good? Ryan saying 300 sounds good. Well, we're gonna act like pit boss tonight. So we short points first session a little bit, and we got points on that session. All right. So now what? So Ken, I think, wanted us to do the point pusher. Let's see. Yeah, Ken wanted us to do point pusher. So we're gonna do point, and we're gonna buy in. Wait, I need my money here. We have 400, and we had $480. So there is right there $480. Got to keep up with this. We got to know how much we got left at the end of the night. All right, so let's see. So we're going to buy in for $300 for point pusher. Now let's go $400 on point pusher. Remember, CPass card. They'll scan it. They'll give it back to you. That's how you get your points. All right, so again, $400. And let's see, we're going to stack that right there. So here we go. So $400. All right, y'all want to go 8 cents a point at $250. Show starting. Catch you later. All right, Ryan. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Enjoy your cruise. Let us know how it goes, okay? All right. Good luck to you. All right, here we go. Point pusher, $400 buy-in. I normally set it up with, we're going to start with $90. And the way I do it is I separate my $90 into 3 stacks of $30. And so then I know I put a stack over here. All right, so there's 6 chips there, so that's $30. And then we're going to go 2 chips on each of these corners right here. And then we have $10 on the basket. Okay, and this is probably how I would play it on the ship. I would probably play it at this level because it holds pretty good. Everywhere is a push except for 1, 4, 5, of course. That's the only numbers on here that are loss. Your 2, 0, 0, 0 is a 3-unit win, so it's a $30 profit there. Okay. So 28, that's a push. And so what Ryan is talking about is the way he's playing it is when he hits a quad, when he hits this corner bet right here, he pulls this bet completely. So he pulls this one back and then leaves it open because now if it hits anywhere else, it's a $10 profit. Okay, so this is puts a little more risk to the strategy. But what you're hoping is that doesn't hit again, okay? It doesn't hit a second time. You know, and I played it before to where I just pulled one of those chips instead of both of those chips. Okay, 27. Okay, we got lucky. It hit in the same area, but it missed these 4 numbers that are open, so that is a $10 profit. All right, and if this is what I would do, I would go ahead and just rebet that. Okay, I'd bring this $10 back to my rack. Okay, so this is what you have to do with this strategy in order for it to survive. You can't just continuously just flat bet it the entire time because if you lose, there's too many. You don't have enough wins to outrun your losses sometimes. Okay. All right, so 16. So we hit this quarter here, or what does he call it? So we're going to pull that off. And then, but here, we're going to do what I normally would do. All right, I would leave one chip there. I'd bring one chip back. It's not that much, you know, but you're going to just kind of nickel and dime it just a little bit. But it's not a complete loss if it hits right there. Okay, so 28. Because I pulled that one chip, that is only a $5 profit. So I'll just bring that $5 back to my rack. That's okay. But we'll pull one off of there. Okay, is that making sense? And also, if you wanted to, you could shift these, you know, shift them back and forth. You know, you could do that if you wanted. All right, 12. So that's that one chip profit right there. So I'll just replace that one. Because it hit the column, I don't want to pull anything off the column because that's 12 numbers, right? All right, so now I'm back to normal. Now everywhere's a push. Unless I hit one of these corner bets, and then I'll pull a chip off of there, and then you know, just nickel and dime it. That's all you're trying to do. Just get a little out of it every time. Okay, so we hit this corner bet here, so I'll pull one of those chips. Because if it hits one of these four numbers right now, it's a $45 loss, I think, give or take, $40, $45, but it's not $90 loss, okay? All right, so 28, so here we go. So it did exactly what I was just describing. All right, so we know that pays 8 to 1. All right, so there's 8 right there. There's $40 that we lost right there, okay? So now we're gonna rebet. So we lost $40. And we're putting $10 back on all of these corners and $10 on the basket. Now, I don't pull off the column, Ken, because the column you're risking 12 numbers. You know, it's better just to at least risk only 4 numbers. You start pulling from over there, then you just open yourself up to a loss. That's all. Okay, so we hit 22. So I'm going to pull this chip right here. Yeah, I mean, you could pull it from there, and then if it hits one of these, it would still be a 1 chip profit, but at least you're not putting yourself at risk for 12 numbers. Okay, 6. All right, so we pulled that 1 chip, so there we go. So there's that 1 chip profit. I'm going to make it all normal again. And, you know, with this strategy here, we're just looking for time at the table. It holds up pretty good as long as you can stay away from the bust numbers. I think somebody commented on one, I think it must have been on the point pusher strategy. 0. Okay, there we go. He commented that he hit 1, 4, 5, 3 numbers in a row. I mean, it killed him. All right, let's put this 5 right there. All right, so there we go. That's a win right there, so I'm pretty sure. So that's going to pay 22 chips right there. All right, so now we're going to reset. But if that happens, it kills this strategy. All right, so there we go. So they hit the basket. So there's that $30 profit. We're going to bring that back to our rack. All right, anybody got any questions? Everybody following along? So we're on spin 10. So we're already 10 spins into this. And we're actually, I think we're up like $10 or $15 at this point. All right, so 6. All right, that's a push. But this strategy has been hit or miss for people. I mean, there's been people that have tried it and they're like, it just destroys me. This is the worst strategy ever. And then there's some that's like, man, this is great. I played for, you know, an hour straight without 1 loss, you know, so it's really hit or miss. In the world. There we go. 8. All right. So now that's a push, but we're going to pull this corner, 1 chip off of that corner there. Now we'll try to go 30 spins with it. Okay, 36. All right, because we pulled that 1, here's that 1 chip profit. I'm just going to rebet that. Make it all normal. And you could risk it. You could leave it off there if you want. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Just how if you feel comfortable leaving a little more risk. No risk, no reward, right? All right, so that's another push. All right, 18. That's another push. See, this is the reason, Ken, like I was saying, about pulling. If you pulled 1 off of that column, you would have lost probably $10 at that point. So you'd lose $5 or whatever, because we hit it like 3 times in a row. And there we go, 4 times in a row. Still a push. Just that's a lot of numbers to try to avoid, you know. All right, anybody got any other questions? Makes sense. All right, 30. Look at that, 5 times in a row on that column. We should put an extra chip on that column. Didn't we do that a couple weeks ago? Didn't we make that column? Didn't we bump it up to 40? It was something we did that helped. Okay, 28. All right, finally. All right, there we go. So we're going to pull 1 chip right there. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what we did a couple of weeks ago. What did we start adding to it? Said when we changed the basket to $5, oh, the $5 000. Lord have mercy, and it hits right there. All right, so we lost $40. All right, let's see. So let's rebet everything. Yeah, that was your idea, wasn't it, Andrew? About changing that basket to a split for $5. But we're on spin number 18 right now, and we may be down $20 right now if we were to cash out right now. Okay, 12. Let's push. All right, 31. All right, we didn't pull anything, did we? There we go. We'll pull 1 right there. All right, we're on spin number 20. Let's just see if we're going to go 30 spins with it. Double 0. All right, worked out. All right, we know that is a $30 profit. And because we had that 1 chip off, it's actually a $35 profit. All right, we're going to put that 1 back right there. Go back to normal. And I think we're in profit at 20 spins. All right, but we're trying to get some points out of them now. See if we can at least, we're down, we're still down. Yeah, we're down $200 still. All right, so 8, All right, we're going to pull this corner. One chip off of that corner. All right, so somebody give me their two-step profit strategy. I want to know something to do. If we do that at once, what's our second step? I want to do that real quick for you guys tonight. See what you guys would do. All right, so that is a $5 profit right there. We're going to pull one right here. So what could we do to see if we could recoup that $200 we lost, or we just accept it for the night? Okay, 26. That $5 profit right there. We pull one of these. Spin number 24. And I really think the thing to do with this strategy is to just pull one chip. You know, it's just kind of grinding out a win here and there. All right, there's that $5 profit right there. We're just going to go back to normal. You know, and if you could get 4 or 5 of those in a row, you know, 3 or 4 of them in a row, and then you could get one of these basket wins, you're almost set. For your loss is not that bad, to be honest. All right, 20. All right, we're at normal, so we're going to pull one chip. All right, we're going to spin number 26. All right, 23. Well, that killed us. All right, we know that is a $40 loss right there. There's $40. All right, so there's our 40 is replaced. Now we're going to go ahead and just pull that chip completely. Now we're going to try to get our money back, because it's hit twice in a row. What's the chances of it hitting 3 times in a row? I'd say slim to none. Okay. All right, so there we go. So now that is a $10 profit. So we're going to place that one. There we go. We're going to pull both of them this time. I probably shouldn't have pulled both of them, but they've already waved it off. Okay, 27. Ooh, I thought that was it. All right, so there we go. So that is that $10 profit right there. We just put it back to normal. This is spin number 19. No, not 19, 29. Can't count, I reckon. All right, so we were normal. So, last spin. Spin 30 on point pusher. All right, we're going to risk it. We're going to pull the $10 back here. And 27. There we go. So that $10 profit right there. All right, let's bring it all back. See what we finished with. There we go. So we bought in for $400, right? And we're walking away with $420. All right, so $420. Where's my pen? All right, so here we go. So we bought in for $400. We're walking away with $420. So that is a $20 profit. All right, so $90 a spin. So our average should be 90 points every 10 spins. So that should be, we're going to go short on our points tonight a little bit. So that's another 250 points. All right, so 250 points for that strategy there. All right. What do y'all think? 250 points seem about accurate or good? All right. Let's see. What do y'all want to run now? Anybody got any ideas of what they want to try? All right, let's see. So Andrew D says, with the extra chips on the column with a win, I like to press the column in 2 corners with the profit. Okay, yeah, and that's one thing I have done is maybe if you get this win down here, take those that $30 profit, and you could just put a chip on each of the corners. That's one thing I kind of started doing was I would put 5 chips at risk on the corners, and then hope that one of those would hit, and then it kind of build a little bit, or just pick a couple of them, put 2 of them on those. But I did find that putting it on all 5 and taking 1 chip back to your rack would kind of help grow it just a little bit. All right, let's see. So Storm Team, wouldn't it be better to just start with pulling 1 chip off of a random corner rather than the first spun on a corner being a push? But yeah, I mean, you could, but we're kind of, with roulette, every spin is its own spin. Okay, so all we're doing is trying to go with the odds of it being a repeater or not. It's not a repeater a lot more often than it is a repeater, so we're trying to just take advantage of that landing on that corner. So if it lands there, we pull from that one and kind of saying it's probably not going to hit those 4 again. But during that session, you saw how many times it missed? 3 times? I think 3 times that it repeated in that corner. So that's one reason we're doing it, just because we play it enough that repeaters don't happen as often as you would think. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Let me do that 9. Let's see the 9 neighbors. Let's play 9 neighbors. Y'all remember what I did a couple of weeks ago with that? 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to buy in for $500. And let's see. All right, did that answer your question, Storm Team? You could, if you wanted to, pull 1 if you wanted to start the session that way, and then hoping you could get ahead. That'd be something you could try. I'm not completely against it, but it will at least gives you a reason why we don't, or why I don't, and why most people that I've seen play the strategy won't start out with pulling a corner to start with. All right, so the way the 9 neighbors works is I spin and I establish a neighborhood that I'm going to go after. Okay, so wherever the ball lands is where my neighborhood, I'm going to bet that number plus 4 numbers on each side of it. So it's an average of $45 per spin. Okay, so 16. So now I look at the layout of the wheel. Of course, I'm cheating here. So here it is. So 16. So we're going to put $5 on 16. And then we've got 4, 23, 35, and 14. That's on one side. And then we've got 33, 21, 21, 6, and 18. 18 right there. Okay, so if it misses, that's a $45 loss. Okay, the average is only $45, so this isn't exactly one for a bunch of points. You probably wouldn't play this to expect to sit there and for a long time. This is kind of one of those, if we can get a couple wins, maybe make $100 profit or $200 profit and walk away, right? All right, so 19, so that's a loss. So I'm looking for 3 losses before I change my my neighborhood. All right, so there is the 9 chips we just lost there. So now we're respinning. I don't change the neighborhood until I miss 3 times. And it's just something I'm trying out. I see people play neighborhoods a lot, but normally it's because they like a certain batch of numbers in a certain area, and that's kind of what they're after. All right, so 0, so we know that's another $45 loss right there. Let's see, what are we on? This is spin number 3, I think. Good enough? All right. All right, Storm Team. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. It's first time seeing you on here. Glad you got on here with us tonight. All right, 20. Okay, so we know that is our 3rd loss in a row. Now, I'm going to change the neighborhood. So because we hit 20, all right, 20 is now going to be our new center number for our neighborhood. And this could be a terrible idea. I get it. I completely understand. Let's see, 32, 17, 5, 22. And then we got 7, 11, 30, and 26. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm switching it after 3 spins, is because I've run kind of this strategy, and it's about every 3.5 spins the neighborhood cycles back around, average. I went 100 spins, and you know, it's kind of the average it went with over that 100 spins. All right, but if we'd have left it right where we had it, that would have been a win right there. So, all right, well, I'm not going to take all them. What was I doing? 20. Let's see, 32, 17, 30, and 26. All right, I'm leaving that there, but that's another $45 loss. Okay. So anyway, just trying something different. That's all. And I'd rather try it here and show y'all that it don't work than have you guys try it on the ship or anywhere and figure it out when it costs you real money, right? Okay, 21. See, I think we would have won right there because that was our original number. So we're going to have to establish a walkaway. But if it wins, you know, we'd probably be thinking this is the best thing ever. And 4. All right, so that ain't going very well. We're going to have to pull the plug on that one. Okay, so we're not going to do that one anymore. So we just lost right at $300 right there. All right. Everybody cool with that? All right, so let's see. So we're cashing out after that loss. The world over got my hand. All right, so that's $230. So $230 right there. That was terrible. Okay. All right, what else? What else y'all want to see? We got to write this down. Got to keep up with it. So we bought in for $500. We left with $230. So that is a loss of $270. Whew. And we might have earned 50 points. All right, let's see. Anybody got any ideas? All right, let's see. So we've been on here about an hour. We've been on here just about an hour. All right, so let's see here. So let's do let's see, let's run, all right, 9 streets. Everybody likes 9 streets. So we can do 9 streets, but it's not really a profit. I can't get any profit on 9 streets for some reason. Let's run 30 chips. Let's just run 30 chip. Have y'all seen 30 chip? The 30 chip strategy? We play it with $2 chips is what we play it with. It's a little work, but I think there's some potential there with it. So let's go 30 chips. And we're going to buy in for $400. We are almost out of money. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all we got. $400. And we're buying in with $2 chips. All right. All right, so 30 chip. All right, you set up 10 double street. And then you go 10 corners. There's a reason it's called 30 chip. All right, there we go. So 30 chips. So your average with this strategy is $60. So it's a $60 average. You're a push from 7 to 31, 9 to 33, and you're an 18 chip profit from 8 to 32. That's what your goal is. All right, that is a 15 chip loss. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll just show you guys. 5 right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's a 15 chip loss right there. Now we just reset. All right, 30 chips out there again. All right, there we go. All right, everybody still there? All right, this is spin number 2. All right, 17. Perfect. All right, so that is an 18 chip profit. So there's 15. There's 18 right there. All right, so what I do is I take these 3 stacks of 6 now. I take a stack of 6 back. I put 6 chips here on the first column and 6 chips on the third column. Okay, now what happens is anywhere it hits from 7 to 9, 31 to 33, that's a 6 chip profit. Okay, and then what I'm trying to do is collect 30 chips right here. So I've got 6 right there. So I just need 5 wins. I've actually got 2 there. So I actually need 2 wins and I've got my 30 chips. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so 16, that is a 6 chip profit right there. Okay, so there is 6 chips. We're just going to bring that back to our rack. We're going to leave it right there. I only need 3 wins. So I get the first win for the 18 chips. I need a win. I need 1 more win, and I have my original 30 chips in my rack. Okay, so 19, that's another 6 chip profit right there. So now look, I take this off, I bring these back to my rack. There's 30 chips right there. Okay. All right, so we're going to put that back to our rack, and we are going to spin again. All right, does that make sense? What do you guys think? Okay, except when it happens like that. Okay, so we know that is a 30 chip loss right there. All right, so there is 30 chips. We're not going to rake the table for time purposes. Okay, we're just going to reset back to what we start with there. The only negative is you've got 5 numbers exposed, completely exposed. But if it can stay away from that end of the table, and you could shift it if you wanted to, you could start it down here and go 10 that way. Okay, so 21, that's a push. This was kind of the, I'm not saying the first strategy, but the probably the second strategy I kind of started running that really helped with points. Okay, 35. Okay, so that is a 6 chip loss right there. So we'll take 6 back right there. We're going to reset with 6 chips right here. And it did fairly well, to be honest. I mean, we played this for several hours on a couple of cruises. I don't know. You get on a bad run with any strategy and it falls apart. At 31, that's a push. And double zero. Another 30 chip loss. See, like I said, if it gets on a bad run, it's just not a lot you can do. No matter what strategy you play. At this point, our night in the casino is not going very well. Is this spin 10? Okay, 27. I need one of the middle numbers to hit. Right down the middle is what you're looking for. It's like every time I play this strategy, it's like it avoids the middle column. 2, except up there. Okay, all right, let's pull the plug on that. So that ain't working. All right, so some nights you just got to accept defeat and walk away. And that's what we're doing at this point. We know it's not going to work out for us. So let's see. So there's 200. There's 10, 20, 30. So 238. So let's see. So 200. And we're going to say 30. Let's just say $235. We might have tipped a few dollars on that one. So anyway, all right, anybody got any last questions they want to ask before we call it a night? So that was 11 spins. We were at $60 average on that. Let's see. No, it's not cooperating tonight at all, is it, Ken? All right, so we bought in for $400. We're walking away with $235. That is and let's just say we got 70 points. All right, we're going to say 70 points. All right, so we're at, that's 500, 550, 620, 660. All right, 660 points for the night is what we're walking away with for the night. That's 5 sessions and 660 points for the night. And let's see here what we, as far as what our money we're walking away with. All right, that should be $50 right there. 85. All right, we're walking away with $385 for the night. So that is a $615 loss for the night. And we received 660 points. That's not good. All right, we had a bad run. But that happens sometimes, right? Sometimes we sit down and it just don't work out for us for the night. I'm sure most of us have seen that happen. Like Ken says, the wheel just wasn't cooperating tonight. But that's how it goes. That's why we practice some strategies. You've got to establish a walk away. You've got to know when it's time just to say, hey, it's not working, right? You've got to have a walk away for when you're in profit. You got to have a walk away when you're losing. Instead of just sitting there and trying to just waste all of your money. There's a goal in mind. You're trying to earn a cruise, and you got to get the points, but in order to get the points, you have to play. So establish your strategies that can get time at the table. All right, so let's see. So last minute questions here. Let's see, 30-day gambler, not a great night tonight. Nope, we are losers tonight. Get it out of the way before your cruise. Yes, so I have a cruise. I'm going out on Freedom on Friday, next Friday. So it's a 3 nights. We'll be back Monday. So there will not be a Sunday night spins next week. Appreciate you guys' support and chatting in and being active with the channel here. I surely do appreciate that. I appreciate you guys. I surely appreciate the 1,500 plus subscribers. We're at 1,520 subscribers, give or take, right now. So we'll see how Freedom goes next week. Gary's on here. Hey, Gary. Lee, bon voyage. All right. And anybody else? Last call for... All right, let's see. So Gary says, I usually have good luck with points on Freedom. Been on that ship more than any other. I've been on it a couple times, and I didn't do too bad on it. I'm trying to remember if Freedom was the one. I think it might have been Freedom. I went on it one time, and all the display boards were off. It makes it hard to play. It doesn't matter, but it makes it hard to play a strategy whenever you're kind of focusing on the display of the past 15 numbers, right? Let's see. 30-day Gambler says, have a great cruise and good luck. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all. And if you don't mind, like and subscribe to 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin'. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see you. Bye.